Well, hello everyone. This is Carrie Beck with Family eBiz, and this is going to be an awesome time. I am so excited to be able to share some of the lessons that I have learned. I'll be sharing personal stories along the way about our businesses, things that kept us from success. So we're going to just dive right in. I am going to just double check that this is online so that I can get rid of the sound. There we go. All right, we are ready to hop into this. Today we are talking about 3 things holding you back from success. Now, I did talk about on our masterclass on Monday and Tuesday, you need to define what success is for you. We don't want to compare ourselves to the big wigs. We don't want to get depressed because the market research makes us feel like, oh, we're just a nobody. We're not going to go into that. I just want to talk about just general ideas of seeing that your business is growing and that you are actually making money. So that is what we're going to be talking about today. I will tell you, as I have been doing on my master classes, I do have a giveaway. I am going to be giving away, let's see if I can get this. It's a copy of our ebook, Brainstorm Your Business Idea. Even if you already have a business idea, this could be helpful because it might help you niche down even further, because the tighter the niche, the more you get rich. A lot of you have this, oh, I'm in the homeschool niche. Well, what area of the homeschool niche are you in? You need to really dig down and be a lot more specific about what niche you are in. For me, I will just tell you, I would say that I'm in the niche of one, I am giving confidence to my moms and I am giving them strategies to help them homeschool better with purpose and intention and fun. And so there are things in there. It's not just, I'm not teaching how to do math, but I am a mom's coach to homeschoolers, and you need to know who you are. Anyway, this could help you brainstorm. It also has a bonus in it, and it is how you could basically ask for money as a venture capitalist. Find someone that would invest in your business as well. It's really intended for, it began as something with our teenagers when we were teaching our Family eBiz started, and we have, of course, how to start your own business for teens and families. And this is part of that course. And I just pulled this out. I think it is so good, especially for people getting started. So how do you enter to win? All you have to do is leave comments in the chat. I would love for you to leave comments. Let me know your biggest aha moments. All right. I want to back up a little bit, and most of y'all know my family. I'm not going to introduce. We have 3 kids. They're all grown. The youngest is 30 years old. But let me just sort of get started with where Family eBiz came from and where we are today. I think it's really important that you see where we have been and how we got there. Then I'm going to talk about the 3 things, and for each one I'm going to tell you the problem and then how I overcame that problem, and then I'm going to give you a solution for all 3 of them as well. All right, are you ready? Leave something in the chat. Even if you're watching the replay, please participate. The Brainstorm Your Business Idea. Right now, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to give away at least 1 or 2 on the live, and then I may give another one away for anyone that leaves comments after the live. And we'll probably do that for a few days so that you can have time to watch it. All right, Family eBiz. You see, we moved from Texas right here up to Idaho. That's all the way up across the country. So Steve could go to seminary, and we could not take his remodeling contractor business with us. So we began an online business because we could work our online business from anywhere. We began that with Curriculum Connection, but eventually that was so successful that Steve began teaching families how to have their own business. That could be an online business or it could be a bricks and mortar business. And that's where our course, How to Start Your Own Business for Family and Teens, began. And that was the very first course that he ever produced. And that was actually a physical course that we would give DVDs out as well. Hi, Cherry. Glad that you are here today. Now, once we started Family eBiz and we kept moving, he did create a course. I think it's called Sites That Sell. And it was, again, on DVDs and CDs. So it was a physical course we mailed to people. That was the first real course that he produced. He launched it with a full out launch. And he made $50,000 in a week on that one course. It is possible to do that. The problem was the credit card company held half our money for 6 months. So we paid our affiliates, but we weren't getting it, and we paid our expenses, but we weren't seeing any of that profit for 6 months. That was a lesson learned, let me tell you. Then I created Secrets to Online Auction Success. This was how I was using eBay to make money in our Family eBiz business. And from that one, I don't remember the exact amount. I made between $5,000 and $10,000 in 1 week. I share this to say we have had success launching courses and products. But eventually, once we got home, a few years after we got home from Idaho, we moved back here to Texas. Steve felt he was selling false hope. He pulled out of Family eBiz about 11 years ago. He just didn't feel good. And so he went back into Beck Construction, his remodeling company that he still runs to this day. He felt like it was, I personally think it was that false negative thinking in his head that shut him down from Family eBiz, because what he was teaching was really good, and he was teaching things, but we were using the concepts in the homeschool niche and then applying them to all niches, because we weren't just saying this works when you sell something to make money. We wanted you people to see that these strategies, online strategies, actually worked in niches, even niches that were really like penny pincher, single income families. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about Steve's thinking later on in my talk. But let's first start out with this. What is holding you back from success? Leave a comment if you're listening, whether you're listening to the replay or the live. If there's something that you feel is holding you back from success, leave a comment and let us know. I think the first one is perfectionism. You see, entrepreneurs have a stumbling block. They don't want to put anything out until it is perfect. One of my favorite people to follow, he has passed away since then, is Dan Kennedy. And he says, let me get it there, good is good enough. The problem is we want to make it perfect, and it's not going to ever be perfect. I think even with my 2 events that I have every year, each time I do it, I'm like, oh, we could have done this better. We could have done that better. But I refuse to let perfectionism get in my way of pushing it out there and getting it out there and making money with it. Seth Godin wrote the book, The Big Move. Stop trying to be perfect and start being remarkable. You're never going to be perfect, so become remarkable so that people remark about whatever it is you're doing. He has this concept called ship it. He says, too many of you sit on it instead of ship it. Now, whether you ship it digitally or you actually ship it through FedEx, you need to get your products out there. And I mean, I know some of y'all, you come to all the trainings, you do everything, but you never get anything out there. You're never going to have it perfect. And so we need to ship it, get it out there. But you may be saying, oh, I'm not trying to be perfect. I just want to get it right. It's the same thing. You're never going to have it right all the time. I'm always putting things out there. Getting out there is more important than sitting on it until tomorrow. Or you say, oh, I don't want to turn my website on because I want it to be perfect. I don't want to put those blog posts up because I'm like, you know what? If y'all looked at my websites and my blog posts, there are mistakes all over the place. FamilyEBiz.com, I'm finally starting to get it back into shape, and we're going to start having more blog posts on there as well. But one thing that I have found that I am doing is I put it out there. It is not perfect, but it sells products. Homeschool, I just redid that. We've last summer, and we are also redoing all of our sales pages, and they are not perfect, but they are out there, and people find them, and they click on them, and they buy it. There are so many flaws in both those websites, and some of y'all tell me about them, but that's okay. It works for me, and I will tell you right now, I ship it, I get it out there, and I'm making money. If you are sitting on it, waiting for it to be right, waiting for it to be perfect, you're not making any money. Sherry says, definitely perfectionism and not sure where to start. And that's a good point. I know that we've been covering some of these as well. Maybe that brainstorm would be a good book for you as well. No matter what you put out there, it's always going to need edits. It's always going to need improvements. Now, I will tell you, one of my mastermind members, Annette, said this, and this is what would help her with getting started, with moving forward like we're talking about. She told me that the mastermind helped her regain focus and keeping her on track and reaching the goals that she had set to reach that year. The problem is, too many of us, we don't, because we just sort of stay to ourselves and we never do anything about it. And that's one reason I have really enjoyed getting to know our mastermind students. And if you're not familiar with that, I'll tell you a little bit about that in a moment. How do we overcome perfectionism? Great entrepreneurs like Dan Kennedy, who said good is good enough, says it is never perfect. We are always learning. We are always growing. So give yourself grace. My coach, Amy Porterfield, says, give yourself permission to give sub-A work. B work is fine. It does not have to be A+ work. B is better than never putting it out there. And I was an A student. I made the honor roll. I always am a people pleaser. I always want it to be good. And I'll be honest, in high school, I was a perfectionist, big time. If I were sewing, I loved to sew, and it wasn't a perfect seam, I'd rip it out. Well, then I had kids, and then I realized you can't be a perfectionist. You just got to get it out there, and no one can see the inside of that dress that you make for your daughter. Just like no one can see all the itty-bitty mistakes on your website. Now, obviously, I'm not going to put something out there with bad grammar, but I'm just saying the look and feel may not be perfect. The images may not be exactly how I want them, which is one of my pet peeves. All right, comment yes or no if you can relate to this. I think it's important that you take one step. If you're dealing with perfectionism, one step. It can be a baby step. It does not need to be a giant leap. If you take a giant leap every 6 months, you're going nowhere. If you take a baby step every day, baby step, it will snowball. And consider each step part of that snowball, and all of a sudden you've got this big snowball effect on your business. Lao Tzu says, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. One step, over and over. What is the one step you will do today to grow your business, to take it to the next level? And Sherry says she can relate too. And even if y'all are listening to the replay, I really would like to see this, your comments about this. So number one is perfectionism. Take one step. Number two, fear. A lot of times when we are afraid in our business, we are playing at blogging. It's just a hobby. We're not really all in. What are you scared of in your business? If you feel comfortable leaving a comment in there, please leave a comment and let me know, what are you scared of? Eleanor Rose, I think one of the things that we tend to do is we compare ourselves, and we talked about that on Monday or Tuesday, but Eleanor Roosevelt says this, you wouldn't worry so much about what others think of you if you realized how seldom they do. You wouldn't even worry about it because really they seldom think about you. And that we are worried about other people, and really they're not even thinking about us. The other thing that can hold us back from fear besides comparison is constantly learning, constantly busy. And when we are constantly learning and busy, we cover up our fear and we never get it out there. We never pull that trigger. And that is something that we need to do. And we are afraid of failure. What if you end up with a goose egg in sales? I've done that. I've had webinars and classes that we sold something, and I sold 0 the whole week, not just during the webinar. How do we do that? Well, you know what? Dan Kennedy, I'm going to mention him a bunch because he is such a great marketer. He says, fail fast. Because when we fail fast, we fall on our face, we get back up and we learn our lessons. I failed fast in January. I had a launch that I do not feel was my best. I don't feel like it was a good launch. And I, in the middle of that launch, started taking notes and preparing. And actually next week, I'm taking all those notes and I am planning for our May launch of my leadership course. And so that will be something I think will really help. Fail fast. It's okay, because failures are not failures. They are learning opportunities. So we need to rewire how we look at things. We quit comparing ourselves to others. We quit constantly being busy instead of doing the thing that will make us money. And we need to fail fast and adjust for next time. Go big or go home. Hunter's my son, and when he was a senior in high school, the cheerleaders sold t-shirts for the football team that basically said, go big or go home. You see, when we play small, it just delays our success. We need to go big, all right? Quit testing. Now, I do think there's a time to test. But if all we do is test over and over, months and months, and we never pull the trigger, you're never going to have a business. That is not a business. Show up and do it. Ship it, basically. We don't need a hobby business. We need a business that will provide the lifestyle that you want, whatever that lifestyle is. Mine is freedom. I had the freedom, actually, to do both of my classes on Monday and Tuesday at my daughter's house, because she needed help with her grandkids because her husband had to go out of town unexpectedly. I got in the car and I drove 3 hours on Sunday, and I came back on Wednesday evening, but I had that freedom to be able to teach that class wherever. Always learning and scared to take action. I think it's just something we have got to do. I believe that it is a lifestyle of freedom. The other thing I think to overcome fear is we need to be fully present. That isn't a full-time job, but fully present when we are working. And you should have some time during each week that you are working. Some of you are working full-time. One of my mastermind students, Tatiana, told me she works 12 hours a day. I was like, that's only when we have events I'm working like that. Most of the time, not that much. But some of you don't have that much. It is better to work 1 hour every day and keep going. And then put it out there, all right? And then the other thing about fear to overcome is you need to take the next step. No matter how scared you are, take the next step. I've shared this story back in 2020. COVID, I was going to resurrect Homeschool Superheroes, scared to death, but I kept taking the step. Every day, I kept doing the next thing. And you know what? It was a blessing. It is the best blessing. It got me out of a toxic situation with the income that I lost, put me smack dab where God wanted me, where I needed to be able to serve my audience even better as well. And so I was at a point when that happened, I had nothing to lose. I was like, just do it, Carrie. And I was trusting that we would all see success, the speakers, the sponsors, and the attendees. And it was so wonderful. And it was one of my favorite events that I've done in the last few years. I wanted to tell you, Justina had this to say. She said, no, that's not right. Eleanor Roosevelt said this: we gain strength and confidence. So if you're afraid, listen to this. We gain strength and confidence and courage by each experience in which we really stop to look fear in the face. We must do that which we think we cannot. We must do that which we think we cannot. If we're afraid, that's the exact thing we need to do. That's what I did with Homeschool Superheroes. I just moved forward. Lisa is one of our masterminds. She said accountability and motivation in our mastermind has helped me push forward even when I didn't want to. It's nice to listen to the others in the group and the struggles that they are going through, the process they are going through to create their things, and find out the stuff they really need to run the business. It's overwhelming to get started, there's a lot of moving parts. But she just said this has been a blessing because she feels like she's not doing it alone. When we are afraid, sometimes we feel like we are doing it alone. The other thing, Myra is one of my students, and she's just getting started. And she says her favorite thing about our mastermind is just the ability to talk through things. I have some people that show up and they're looking for answers, and after they verbalize their problem, they have their own answer. They just needed to say it out loud. And sometimes with fear, that's what we need to do. So first is perfectionism, second is fear. Third thing that is holding us back from success is, I was looking, okay, imposter syndrome. I've talked about this over and over, and I don't think we can ever talk too much about it. And you may be going, leave a comment if you want, tell me what you think imposter syndrome means, or if you have ever experienced this. I'm not good enough. I'm a fraud, and they're going to find out. My course isn't good enough. My product isn't good enough. Who does she think she is? Who do I think I am? Negative thinking takes our energy away from thinking for success, takes our energy away from our dream business. It's just a lot of worrying over nothing. And I really think this is where Steve was when he went back to remodeling. He knew the things that we were doing. We're helping people. But he just began to self-doubt, and that's imposter syndrome. And I think that's one of the reasons he went back to remodeling. Now, is that a bad thing? No, I supported him wholeheartedly. I was like, here, let's go get your list. Where's the list from 15 years ago or whenever it was? Let's go contact those people. See if, and within a week or two, he had a job, a remodeling contractor. I'm not saying that was such a bad thing to do. I'm just saying that sometimes we get in that situation and we don't always make the wisest decisions, or maybe we could just push through some of that imposter syndrome. Let me share a few people that you might be surprised have experienced imposter syndrome. John Steinbeck, the novelist, he says, I'm not a writer. I've been fooling myself and other people. Meryl Streep, like how many Academy Awards has Meryl Streep won? She says, you think, why would anyone want to see me in a movie again? And I don't know how to act anyway, so why am I doing this? This is Academy Award winner. Kate, now I'm not saying anything about these people or their lives. I'm just using these as an example. Kate Winslet. Sometimes I wake up in the morning before going off to a shoot, and I think, I can't do this. I'm a fraud. Jennifer Lopez. She says, even though I had sold 70 million albums, there I was feeling like I'm no good at this. And then the last one is Jodie Foster. She said, this is so fun. When I won the Oscar, I thought it was a fluke. I thought everybody would find out and they'd take it back. They'd come to my house, knocking on the door. Excuse me, we want to give that to someone else. That was going to Meryl Streep. These are successful people that we look at and we think they have accomplished all the success that you could imagine in their industry, and they still feel like a fraud, like they're no good at it. So you can understand how we might feel that way as well. But there are ways to overcome imposter syndrome. Amy, I missed one. I'll just share this now. Mark Twain says, courage is resistance to fear, mastery of fear, not the absence of fear. That was supposed to go with the fear one. But it sort of goes with imposter syndrome, because sometimes we can be afraid to move forward because we feel like we're a failure. We need to have courage and resist that fear. Courage is not the absence of fear. We all have fear in something. Amy Cuddy says this, focus less on the impression you're making on others and more on the impression you're making on yourself. Think about that. Who are you making an impression on? Are you worried about your impression on others or on yourself? Leave a comment. Let me know if you've ever dealt with that. And be honest about your ability, your credibility, and your success. Leave a comment too and tell me this, live or replay. What is one thing that you have been successful in or proud of doing in the past 6 months? I would love to cheer you on. I am all about cheering on our students, whether they're our leadership students, our homeschool moms, our moms, blogging, business, whatever. I want to cheer you on. So, what is something that you've done? And I think we need to take a look at the things that we have been successful in and realize that not everything is negative. We need to replace the lies in our head with truth. Y'all probably heard me say this a gazillion times. Silence the voices in our head. I have personal ones that go off at certain times in the middle of the night, in the car, I'll be prayer walking, talking to God, and all of a sudden this lie lands in my head. And I'm like, really? Go away. I am going to replace that with truth. God has given me the ability to run an online business. He has given me the organization skills. I declare I have those things. So I think it's important that we replace the personal lies with truth. I get that truth from the Bible. And if we've got personal lies, it's going to affect our business. But I also think we need to replace the business lies and replace that with truth. So that's one thing. We need to be honest about our credibility and what we've done. Replace the lies in those reels in your head with truth. And then third, let your why be bigger than your worry. That's what my coach Amy Porterfield is always saying. Because if your why is big enough, it'll replace the worry. So let me give you a few examples. For me, my why is I want the freedom to come and go. I don't want to have to get up and be somewhere at 8 o'clock in the morning. I want the freedom to be able to start at 10 and work till 10 at night one day. Or I want the freedom, like I did this week, to go to my grandkids' house. And I gave those classes, but on Tuesday, I was fully in charge of those kids. Monday, we had sickness, so I was taking care of kids while one went to the doctor. Then they got better. They went to the library in the afternoon. I taught my class. I taught my homeschool class. I met with my VA, and that's about all I worked. Tuesday, really, the only thing I did was teach that 3 o'clock class, and then in the evening, I followed up with some email and stuff. But that was it. I had the freedom to be able to do that, and the flexibility and the ability to have my business running. I didn't have to process everything. I didn't have to reply to everything. Everything was already set up for the first 3 or 4 days after that class. So my why is freedom and a lifestyle to be able to go and help my family when they need help as well. I think this is what will keep me going. Let me refer to Amy Porterfield again. You know, the lady is worth like $30 million right now. A lot. Her first launch, she made $267. Not $267,000. She made $267 in her first launch. And she felt like it was a failure. Did she stop because she was afraid to move forward? No. In fact, she learned her lessons, and her next launch, she made $30,000. The next one, $118,000, then $283,000, and then $950,000. Now, I don't know about since then, but those are the numbers that she shared with us at one time. I think it's important that we know our why. Her why was big enough, bigger than her worry. We need to do what Mark Victor Hansen says. He's also a marketer, and he says, don't wait until everything is just right. That perfectionist. It will never be perfect. There will always be challenges, obstacles, and less than perfect conditions. So what? Get started now. With each step you take, you will grow stronger and stronger, more and more skilled, more and more self-confident, and more successful. If you never take your first step, there's no chance to be successful. So really, overcoming the imposter syndrome. You need to be honest. You need to replace the lies in your head with truth, and that why be bigger than your worry. Jan is another one of our mastermind members, and she just said, I've been in many mastermind groups, and I have never been in one like Carrie's. There's an authenticity to it, not in other groups. Even in Christian masterminds, usually it is very broad and overarching idea that's doled out, just passing out information. No, this, we make it personal and applicable. And she said one of the best things is, a lot of times Jan didn't even need, she goes, I just needed y'all to say, yes, I'm doing this. I'm doing it okay, and get rid of those lies in her head. So it's not going to be perfect. We need to move forward. Then the other thing to overcome imposter syndrome, keep showing up. Perseverance leads to character. I'm a person of faith, whether you are or not. I don't know. I think all of this applies no matter where your faith is. But Romans 5:3-5 says we also glory in our sufferings, because we know that suffering produces perseverance, perseverance, character, and character, hope. And hope does not put us to shame because God's love has been poured out into our hearts through the Holy Spirit who was given to us. Perseverance. Another one of ours is Justina, and Justina said, I can find her notes. Oh, there she says. She says, growth as a solopreneur is really hard. It's slow and steady, but it is still difficult. She is seeing growth, and she said, with guidance from Carrie and the mastermind, I've been able to launch new products, add affiliates, and start a membership group as well. But she's one of those people that just says, it's work. I just have to keep moving forward. I keep showing up every day. We need to get up from any falls and not just crawl. Well, really, we could walk or run, but even just crawling and taking the next step is good. Take a step. Overcome the roadblocks. We can go around them, we can go through them, we can go over them, but we need to get to the other side of whatever your roadblock is. Fear, perfectionism, imposter syndrome. And if you need help, you need to ask people. But who do you ask? Who would be a good person to ask? I would like to introduce you to our mastermind. I mentioned this, and I mentioned some of the people that have been in the mastermind, but you need to get help before you need to ask for it. I think it's important that we have our own personal board of advisors. We don't have a corporate board or a nonprofit board where we have all the influential people in the community come. How about having your own personal board of advisors that will listen to you and that will advise you? That's exactly what the mastermind is all about. Sarah Miller says that I've helped her intentionally about steps to grow her business so that she could use her limited time. She's got 2 kids that are like 5 and 7 years old, and she could use that time wisely, see growth faster. She said that she would absolutely not be where she was today with Carrie's help and support in growing her business. And some of that was specifically through our mastermind. So what is the Family eBiz Mastermind? Why I keep talking about this? I really believe this is a group that you could join and get your own personal board of advisors. It'll help you take your business to the next level, whether you're at the ground level and just need to get to this level, whether you're in the middle level and need to go up, or you want to just scale your business. You'll get a trusted group of entrepreneurs or advisors to listen and advise you on your next step, to help hold you accountable. That was another thing that Jan said. She goes, I love this because it holds me accountable. She says she prints out her accountability plan every month and puts it next to her computer so she stays focused on what she needs to do each month. We help you focus on money-making tasks instead of busy work, providing cutting-edge, up-to-the-date strategies, because every month on the first Wednesday of every month, I do a live training in our private Facebook group just for our mastermind members. And this is to help you overcome your fear of no one reading your blog post or buying your items. This month we did SEO, and I gave best practices and how do we deal with keywords. Next month, in April, we'll be talking about SEO and linking strategies. How do we link within our website and outside our website, and some advanced SEO strategies as well. These are real life things that are happening right now, and we're going to talk about what's going on with Google or Pinterest when it comes to keywords and it comes to SEO. We meet once a month for 2 to 3 hours, depending on how many people. We usually have 4 or 5 people in a group. It's a small group, and that is so it can be trusted. It is confidential. We don't share things outside the group. I want you to be seen and heard. I had one member say, I don't ever want to miss that meeting. What do you do at each of these meetings? Well, each blogger gets to answer our 5 questions. We have 5 Qs. We've just started this, implementing it this month. And part of that is telling where we are now, what we're learning, and then where we need help. And so you talk about an area you need help. You have that 30 minutes. You can use that 30 minutes any way you want. I think it's the power of a group versus a single coach, because there's so much synergy going on. Because, you know, you're listening and someone says this and I go, oh, that. And then someone else goes, oh, this. And you come up with a much better idea when you work together as a team to help each other. we brainstorm solutions, and we meet with a timer. Each person stays on time, so we use your time wisely. You will receive that week a personal action plan that Ross will send to you, and these are the things that you tell the group, here's what I'm going to work on over the next 4 weeks. And you begin the next month by starting, we'll pull that up and say, well, how did you do? And that is one of the best ways to hold you accountable. And I've had people say, I knew I was going to have to tell you what I'd done. And so I knew I needed to get this done before our meeting this month. So that is worth about $300 a month. I had someone say they were going to charge me $300 for a 1 hour a month group coaching call. And so you're getting a lot more. You're getting interaction. You are actually having a little bit longer. You'll get live training, and you'll get the recording and the printables that go along with the recording and whatever the training is. So I've already mentioned all of that. Let's see. And then all of our new members are going to get our course called Boost. It's $197. It will help boost you from whatever level you are. It starts with the firm foundation. It goes into growing your followers, your readers, your customers, and then building your website. And we even have a course in there for tech issues. What's the other thing it has? Website and products, developing your digital product. And then we have a bonus one on marketing funnels and really getting your marketing down. I also have some instant bonuses, which is a lot more about imposter syndrome. We dive deep in that for a whole hour. 7 ways to be motivated is another video training that's a bonus that you will get. And beginning right now till the end of the weekend, if you sign up or you already signed up, I'm going to give you my course, Create Your Side Hustle Income Plan. It's a 12-week course. You could actually sit down and do it in a weekend if you want to, but it is 12 weeks, and it's 12 topics to start at the beginning, how to get your business, online business started, and all the way up. And so it is just, and it's worksheets for you to be able to print out and think through. So if you're having a hard time getting started, you're scared to take action, that fear keeps coming in, or that imposter syndrome, oh my gosh, why would they buy from me? I mean, I still deal with that. This would be a great place to get started, and it's something you could work on in between the mastermind meetings. So when you join the Family eBiz Mastermind and you follow the personalized action plans, you move from a nobody in your niche to a rock star who serves your audience well. We're all about serving first, serve then sell. Quit doing all your work manually and follow systems that will truly give you more freedom. That's why I could go up to Gentry's at the beginning of the week. Freedom to spend more time with your family. Quit trying to figure it out on your own, which leads to confusion and a lot of wasted time. Focus on your profit-making tasks. That's what we want to do, and we want to hold you accountable. Now, if you have questions about any of this, please leave a comment or send me a DM. I am more than happy to do that. I will be checking back on this video. I do want to give Cherry a copy of our Brainstorm Your Business Ideas, because she's made several good comments today, and so she can send me a DM and we will give you a copy of that. And that might really help you get over that scared to take action, because I think it can really nail down where to get started. You're not sure? Go through this over the weekend and let's see if we can help you get started. That's what we want to do. Now, let me see if we have any questions and see if I have, because we have some different people here. And let me see if I got any. Sorry, just trying to get everything in place as well and see if we have any DMs. Let me just, I'm not really good at doing this on the computer. Okay, there. I don't want to move anything. One of the questions was, how long does it Family eBiz Mastermind last? It really continues from month to month. I really encourage people to give it at least 4 months. You may not see instant change. Change takes time. Plus, you need to build up trust with your fellow mastermind people and the other people in the group. And so I do encourage you to sign up and expect to at least stick with it for 4 months. I have people that don't want to get out of it. And I've had some people trying to figure out how they're going to miss one meeting or not. The other question is, what if I have to miss a meeting? That's a really good question, because what happens if you miss a meeting? You can still send in your answers to your 5 questions. I will read those out. And when we get to the part about brainstorming answers and solutions for your business, we will, as a group, even though you're not there, we will still give you your time to be able to come up with some answers. I remember we were doing that with Myra last month. She couldn't make it, so she sent in her questions, and we sat and brainstormed some answers for her. So if you're missing a meeting, you're still not going to miss the answers that you need, and we will help you as well. Let me see. How do I know if I'm right for the program? I would say if you are a stay-at-home mom who is trying to earn a little extra income, you would be good for this, because it will help you get started, and it's something you can do from home because you can do it as long as you have internet access. If you're just getting started, that is a great place. Or if you're not making a full-time income on your digital products, you really need to figure out some systems, and we will help you develop that. And that's why we have these regular trainings every month. And if you come to the live one, you actually get to ask questions at the end of it on whatever the topic is that we have. And so you may not be earning a full-time income, but you're doing really well and you just want to scale it and sort of pull back yourself. We can help you do that as well. That's a really good point. Let me see what else, if I've got any DMs coming in as well. Oh, how do you divide the group up? Well, one thing is we don't want a group of all newbies. So we're going to space out. If you're just getting started, you'll be put in with some people that have been doing this for a while so that we can all encourage. But having said that, if you are new, a lot of times you give some fresh perspective to the people that have been in it for a long time. I had one person, she was great. And she's like, I'll get on a Zoom call with you and give you some ideas about your product because I've used it. And so I just thought, wow, she's not in the digital marketing world yet. She's working on it, and she is now because it's been over a year, but she was willing to give a fresh perspective to someone that had been in it for a long time as well. Let me see if I have any more. Okay. I think that's about it. Oh, the other thing with the groups, we do not want to put people that are in direct competition together unless y'all are okay with it, because I just want people to be transparent and feel like they can be trusted and that 2 people aren't trying to do the exact same thing. So I will, if you are in the niche and you're doing exactly the same thing. Now, having said that, I come from a perspective of abundance and growth, not scarcity and limited mindset. So if I were in a mastermind with people doing the same thing, it probably wouldn't be that bad. I would want to collaborate. I think collaboration is so much more valuable than competition. And so I have some friends that feel the same way and feel like there are so many homeschoolers out there that we cannot get all of them. And so it's okay to collaborate and do the best with each other. All right, any other questions? All right, thank you so much. I know it's Friday afternoon. Thank y'all for spending time with me. I hope this has been helpful. Y'all have a great day. This is Carrie Beck with Family Oh, I forgot. I didn't even give you the link. You need to go sign up right here. Go to familyebiz.com/FEM for Family eBiz Mastermind. Sorry about that, sort of out of there. That's where you can sign up. We already have some new people that signed up during the master classes. I'm excited. You won't find out your group till we get everyone together and we can sort of mix and match them just the best way we think, and move on from there. Hey, thanks so much for spending time with me. I'm Carrie Beck with Family eBiz. Talk to you later.